What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Fit Soldier coming to you with another freaking video. So hey man, thought I'd put out a video. I've seen a few videos on YouTube about this subject, but not many. So I thought I would add my two-piece on it as well, so you guys can see my perspective on what are the 5 things I wish I knew before joining ROTC. Alright, so my number one thing that I wish I knew before joining ROTC obviously is going to be the OML, the Order of Merit List. So as you know, ROTC, OCS, even West Point, military academies, all of these officer schools, they go off of a OML. They have their own set OML, and where you place in that OML will decide if you're able to get active duty, National Guard, or Reserve, for one. 2, your ranking will decide what MOS or job, AOC, area of concentration, that you'll be able to get. Alright, so I would say learn up on the OML. I have another video that's going to be specifically dedicated to the OML. I'm going to go over everything and break down OML for my year group, and you will see how to calculate what you need to do to get high points for the OML. Alright, that's my number one thing. Try to understand the OML before you join. That way you have a goal on what you need to do. Number 2 is PT. You gotta make sure you're doing PT. ROTC, all schools are different. Some schools do PT more than other schools. I had the privilege of joining, doing ROTC in 2 different schools, so I know that PT is different at every other school. And obviously I've met other cadets that they said that PT is different at their schools as well, the way they do it. So make sure you're doing PT on your own, because don't rely on ROTC to get you in shape. You should be in shape by the time you get to ROTC and all the way through ROTC. Because when you hit your MS3 year, like, things is bumping. Number 3 would be schedule balance. Make sure you're not, I would say make sure you have a good balance. If you're gonna do, for me, ROTC, I picked a degree where it wasn't my preferred degree, because my preferred degree is a lot harder. So I decided to be strategic and pick a degree that I already had and just get a higher level on that degree, which I had an associate's in arts, in media graphics design. So I decided to get a bachelor's in my media digital arts design, and I picked up a minor in geospatial intelligence. These things I already had a degree in before, so I knew some, a lot of the classwork, so it was not that hard for me. So I was able to maintain over 3.8 and graduated with a 3.86 GPA. So pick something that you can do. If ROTC is your focus, if the Army is your focus, make sure you get a high GPA so you can rank high and get the job that you want, because you can always go back to school later and do what you really want to do as far as get that degree. So that's what I'm gonna do. Don't be like a lot of people I've seen throughout the years in my ROTC career or ROTC time. A lot of people fall out of program because they want to take biology, they want to be a doctor, a lawyer, and all these hard stuff, and the classes are too hard and their GPA fall too far below the standard for ROTC and they have to get out of the program. So don't be that guy. Number 4, pick the right school. I say it again, pick the right school. Do your research on schools that have ROTC programs. Tons of schools have ROTC programs, and they're all different, like I said earlier. My first school was in Florida. It was a good school, but it wasn't on the same level as this school. I wouldn't say scholastic wise, but I'm ROTC wise. The school I was at before didn't have as much prior service as the school I'm at now. Meaning, so I would have been one of the most experienced at the first school I did ROTC at. It was only maybe 3 or 4, actually only 3 prior service cadets at that school. Whereas at this school, there were only literally 2 progression cadets at my school. Everybody was prior service, 6, 7. We had guys that had 10 years experience, 12 years experience. We had a guy that was a sergeant first class before joining ROTC. Like, the school I'm at now was a lot harder competing in ROTC because there was a lot more seasoned cadets. We have a ranger cadet, we have a sapper cadet, we have cadets that have tabs. Like, this school was a lot more seasoned, which makes it a lot harder to compete, but you learn a lot more and you get more out of the program at a school like this. Whereas for me at the other school, I would have been the guy they were looking up to more, and I wouldn't have learned as much from the program there, if you get what I'm saying. So just pick the right school for you. Look at what the school ranked before, how their programs are run. Get all that information before you join, and you should be fine. And lastly, learn the jobs. This is my number 5. Learn all the jobs available. So there's about 17 concentrations. Infantry, aviation, quartermaster, whatever, so on and so forth. Make sure you learn these jobs. Do your research on YouTube, pull them up, watch videos on them. That's what I did, all 17 of them. And make sure you pick what you want before that time comes, and you're not that cadet scrambling trying to figure out what area of concentration you want to pick as your top 5. If you're like me, I ranked pretty high on the OML. I was almost top 20%. Didn't make it by a little bit, but I had a good amount of OML, so I knew I was gonna get one of my top 3. So it was very hard to pick my top 3, and I already knew what I wanted before that time came. That time came, I already knew what I wanted because I did my research. But obviously there's other cadets that they're scrambling. Oh my God, I don't know what to pick. And they get confused, and they're all the way up to the last minute. They going back and forth trying to switch their AOCs before the time, the deadline. So make sure you do your research on these jobs. That way you're picking the right job for you. All right. So yeah, there you have it. That's my top 5 things I wish I knew before joining ROTC. So make sure you guys look into all that stuff. And the key thing I would say with ROTC, also don't be that guy invested too much in the program. Enjoy your time too with your family and stuff. Have fun. Don't get stuck just all focusing on ROTC and forget about your family and all that stuff. Alright, don't be that guy. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. If you have any suggestions, if you did ROTC and any other suggestions that you think that I missed, leave them in the comment box below as well, because people read those comments and they'll probably learn from it. Alright, so that's it for this video. See y'all in the next one. Make sure I hit the notification bell so you get notifications, and make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Like, share. Alright. Hit it.